Welcome to the Z Hut. Today, we're going to take a look at how to make hard-boiled eggs in a rice cooker. Now, this is very, very, very easy to do. I actually prefer to cook my eggs this way. It's a little more convenient than using the stove. A big thing is, for me, I can bring this out in the shop, and all you got to do is put them in and, just keep an eye on it. And you can continue working. And that's one of the main reasons I use this. But even still, when I'm in the house, I've got it down where they turn out perfect every time. Now, I have here a 6-cup aroma. Bigger will work fine. It depends. The bigger it is or the smaller, it's just going to be how many eggs you put in. How to cook them, it's going to be the same in all of them. Now, almost every video I've seen, they'll put water in here, and then they put that steamer tray and put the eggs in. Oh, we're going to steam them for this long. And don't waste your time. It's just an extra part of the rice cooker you got to clean. So take your rice cooker. Now, my 6-cup here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I usually do 6. There is enough room. You could do 7. But I usually just do 6. And I usually have 2 a day for in the morning if I don't have time, to sit and cook a real breakfast. So, all right, you put them in. Fill it up with water until the water just covers them. That's all there is to it. Now, some people like to put a little pinch of baking soda in there. You can go ahead and do that. Supposedly, it makes them easier to peel. But it does also have a tendency of the rice cooker I want to boil over just a little bit. Not super bad, but a little. And I don't like the mess myself. Here's the trick for boiled eggs. You do not want to go out to the hen house, collect the eggs that were laid this morning, and try to boil them. You will be sitting there. You've ever tried peeling an egg and you only end up with half the egg because half of it stuck to the shell? It's because your eggs are too fresh. And yes, you heard me right. They're too fresh. I usually, my eggs in the summertime, I have chickens, so I get a few. So if I'm using farm fresh eggs, I let them sit in the fridge for a week to 2 weeks. If I buy eggs at Aldi's, they usually got them for about 50 cents a dozen. So whenever I go to Aldi's, even when my chickens are laying, I'll pick some up because I'll boil them. And all these ones, usually you can use right away. On an occasion, I found, they're probably fresher than I thought. But you could still, if you're buying grocery eggs, let them sit in the fridge for a week. They're going to be fine. Eggs last a long time. All right, with that, water's in there. Put your baking soda in if you want. I don't recommend it. Put the lid on. Click start. Keep a relative eye on it. You don't have to sit there and stare at it, but check on it, every little bit. Once it starts to boil, time it for about 10 minutes, and it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. I mean, if it was boiling a couple minutes before you came and looked at it because you were only checking it every, so many minutes, you're fine. It's just about 10 minutes. You don't want to cook them less than that because then they won't be completely hard-boiled. You'll have soft-boiled eggs generally. After 10 minutes of boiling, what I do is turn it off and then disconnect the power because otherwise it'll still want to warm. Wait a minute, then I will pull this off and I will set it on the counter. And I'll usually let it sit for about 10 minutes, additional 10 minutes. Then, it's wintertime here right now. What I do is I just open the door because the door, it's right next to there in the shop or the kitchen. And I set the rice cooker in the snowbank. Just make sure not to let the snow touch the glass. It might crack. And then, 15, 20 minutes later, I go back out and grab it. The eggs are chilled. Otherwise, if it's summertime, after you've let it sit for about 10 minutes, You can drain the water out and then put some cold ice water in there, or just run cold water over it for a few minutes, whatever. I have found that super cooling them off really fast, it doesn't really matter that much as long as you cook them for 10 minutes and let them sit for another 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter how you cool them. Generally, they peel fine. On a rare occasion, usually out of every 2-3 dozen, I will get one that doesn't want to peel very good. Just luck of the draw, I guess. Stuff happens. All right. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope you found this information useful. You did. Give us a thumbs up. Would appreciate it big time. So have a great day. And remember, you can cook more than just rice in a rice cooker.